All right, hopefully we won't have any delays. It's really not streaming too well on OBS right now. All right, hopefully we won't have any delays. All right, I think everything's straight, y'all. I think everything's straight. Man, it's been a while since I did this shit. It's been a while. I guess for right now, you know, before I get started and shit, kind of catch everybody up. I mean, really, just you and Alex, you and Dane. I mean, mainly you, Alex. I mean, since you probably really haven't talking to me recently, but for right now, it's like, yeah, man. It's Before I get started, hold on, let me turn the volume down a little bit on there. Hold on. Yeah, I ain't want to over echo myself, but yeah, man, it's been a long journey. I've had a long journey up to this point. So I guess shit. Starting out, I mean, I'm in a new spot now out here in a town that's probably about maybe shit. It's probably 30 minutes away from where I had lived at before. A little town called Conyers. Um, shit. Let me see everything straight with that. I just want to make sure it ain't too much lag. If everything's straight, y'all let me know. If everything's straight, y'all let me know. Keep saying on my end, it keeps saying the stream's current bit rate is lower than the recommended. I don't know what it's talking about. I tried to make it as conservative as possible, so hopefully everything is connecting. On my end, it keeps saying the stream's current bit rate is lower than the recommended. I don't know what it's talking about. I tried to make it as conservative. It's dropping frames. Yeah, damn. Might have to make some adjustments. Let me try one more time. Let me make some adjustments. Let me end this and then try one more time. Because it might possibly be my internet, but it's saying that I got a decent signal right now. But it is going up and down because it's kind of windy over here. So let me try one more time. Let me make some adjustments. Let me end this and then try one more time. Because it might possibly be my internet, but it's saying that I got a decent signal right now. But it is going up and down. Let me see. It's kind of windy over here. So I really try to make this as conservative as possible. Yeah, that's all basic. I really try to make this as conservative as possible. That's all basic. Yeah. Yeah, it might be the resolution. You're right. Let me see. Um, yeah, it might be the resolution. You're right. Let me see. Might possibly be that. I just think it's gonna be ass because I got a different computer and web camera now, so it's not that same square shit like this. Yeah, it wasn't that before. Like before. Might possibly be that. I just think it's gonna be ass. I wonder if the frame rate. I wonder if the frame rate's gonna pick up now. Web camera now, so it's not that same square shit like this. Yeah, it wasn't that before. like before. I wonder if the frame rate. I wonder if the frame rate's gonna pick up now. How does it seem now, y'all? I know on my end it's gonna be somewhat of a delay, but not. It shouldn't be too bad. How does it seem now, y'all? I know on my end it's gonna be somewhat of a delay, but not. It shouldn't be too bad. It's much smoother. Okay, that's the bet. You know what? I'm not even gonna worry about changing all that. I'm gonna just leave it like here. Um, it might be somewhat of a transition right now because I do need to kind of stretch it because I'm gonna just show y'all the room real quick and then I'm gonna just change it right back. Oh shit. Um, it might be somewhat of a transition right now because I do need to kind of stretch it because I'm gonna just show y'all the room real quick and then I'm gonna. That's a good question. Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah, it is somewhat of a lag with the webcam. You right about that. Fuck. Um, that's a good question. Yeah, it is somewhat of a lag with the webcam. You right about that. I think the game is gonna run smooth though. I think the game is gonna run smooth though. This shit gonna look ass, but hey. This shit gonna look ass, but hey. I think I'm gonna just go on and just run it, see how it go. It's the first time I've streamed on this computer like since the Fighting Force game may be smoother than the webcam, but yeah, that will be the real test. I think I'm gonna just go on and just run it, see how it go. It's the first time I've streamed on this computer like since the Fighting Force game may be smoother than the webcam, but yeah, that will be the real test. Let's see. Yeah, so far this room I got is somewhat bigger than the last room I had, and kind of seem a little bigger. I don't really have everything set up yet because I just actually moved in here. I actually had just moved in here. That was about maybe about 3 weeks ago now. My bad, y'all. I was kind of away from the microphone I was talking, but yeah, I don't really. I still got other little stuff I need to set up, but got a little bit less stuff than what I had before. I kind of had to get rid of a lot of stuff because I ain't really need a lot of what I had, but y'all know the classics. These of course the games and the movies and all that stuff still around. Got a little bit less stuff than what I had before. I kind of had to get rid of a lot of stuff. The games. Now we got all those games on the computer. So can you believe like all these games right here on this one shelf? Like I literally got all this stuff on one hard drive. That's how far we've come in technology. So no more having to buy games off of eBay and trying to do it the legit way. It's like that's in the past now. Now we got to let technology do the work, as they said on Rambo. That's how far we've come in technology. So no more having to buy games off of eBay and trying to do it the legit way. It's like that's in the past now. Now we got to let technology do the work. They said on Rambo. But same old, still going on. Um, I think the last time we left off, really, man, when I did the little stream down there in Statesboro. Let's see, it ain't lagging. Yeah, it ain't lagging too much. But yeah, man, the last time we did the stream, that was down there in Statesboro. I went down there, man. That situation, honestly, man, y'all remember, back in February of 2023, that was really like the last time I really had a chance to do this. During that time, I just was going through a bit transition, trying to figure out, what the next thing was I wanted to do it and how I wanted to do it exactly. Of course, I still wanted to work on my videos and all that, and have a team and and all that stuff like I had planned. But when I had actually like when I moved out of my apartment, during that time, I also had invested in this franchise. I remember telling y'all about Jam Pro. I think I put maybe $2,000 into that mess. And that year, it kind of had screwed me up because really none of the money I had really just made just barely the money back, just getting basic contracts. And believe it or not, Alex, I still have my cleaning business. I still actually got my cleaning business. I get paid from that every single month. Even going way back then, the last time that really I was talking to you about this stuff, is that business is still going. So it ain't I had a collapse. It ain't like I had a meltdown or anything like that. I just kind of was, I was at my mom's house for one, so I really couldn't stream, and I didn't have the space like I wanted to, and that was the first time I had to stay with my mom, and shit. Almost 7 years. So, all them days y'all saw how I was, being in my room and, what I'm saying, and smoking and being as loud as I wanted to be and all that stuff. I had to sacrifice that for years, to the point where 2 years basically, to the point where I wasn't even really playing the game like that. That's why I was just dropping the little short reviews and, every now and then maybe a long review, but I couldn't really make my content the way I really wanted to, where like I had y'all seen all those years. I mean, it's not the same as when you in somebody else's space, and by the grace of God, I was able to still at least move in with my mom, and she allowed me to stay there and and get my stuff together. And honestly, I could have went ahead and got another spot here, but I was just so sick and tired of being here, paying rent, all this shit up here. After during that whole time for 2021, 2022, and those years, that stuff was starting to get really expensive here, and it just got to a point where I was like, man, I got to get the hell out of here. And going to Statesboro, I wanted to go down there and kind of build a team and work on my content. I kind of still want to do it, but I was kind of imagining myself doing it, from the sake of when I was 20 years old. And I still got that same drive and energy, but I also had to remember, when we were living down there in 2011, stuff was old then, but it was even older, 10, 14 years later. So I had went back to the same apartment complex when I had showed y'all the short, where, of course, me and Dane had lived at apartment E1. And, man, I had ended up moving in another building, but it was with this older guy. And it was kind of weird because, hey, Dane, do you remember any older people that lived in University Village when we were there? Because I really don't remember, too many people that weren't in school that lived in that neighborhood. And it was kind of weird because, hey, Dane, do you remember any older people that lived in University Village when we were there? Because I really don't remember too many older people that were there like that. But yeah, Alex, I had I moved in there and it was an older guy that was there. It was some guy from Bangladesh, and it was another guy. This guy was like a fucking missing person on Unsolved Mysteries because he never appeared. But I didn't even stay long enough to to find out. But ultimately, my whole goal was to go down there, work on the videos and do the same stuff essentially like before. Yeah, I don't remember too many older people that were down there like that. But it seemed like now it's like more. It was like way more older people. We talking about like folks in their 40s and 50s and shit with kids and like adults. And I thought like, damn, this shit down here kind of. I guess because of this economy and everybody was trying to figure out a way to kind of conserve on like living expenses and maybe I guess I wasn't the only one who had thought about trying to go somewhere like that and save money because man, when I got down there, I noticed it was a guy that was from damn Chicago that had came down there. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing in Statesboro out of all places? I was even confused about why the hell I was there. I mean, but like I said, I was trying to build a team and all that, but I couldn't live in that apartment, man. It was like, yeah, I just showed y'all the size of my room. And literally, like, I mean, I could stand up and show the whole thing, but I got connections and stuff like that. I actually got this computer connected to a TV, HDMI. So it's kind of hard to, adjust and move around and all that. But literally that room down there, it's like, I don't even know like how we lived in that shit, Dane. It's like that room literally was like a fucking, that was like, I guess like if you like some kind of tough guy in prison and you just so happen to have the biggest cell in jail, that room literally was about the same size as like the biggest cell you could have in like a jail somewhere, because that shit was small as hell for one. And I thought to myself like I really couldn't even film in there like I wanted to, because shit, it wasn't. I'm like, dude, if I couldn't even set my green screen up in there. Like once I would have set up my bed, like that was literally the whole like room. So that wasn't gonna work. I guess I was looking at it from the mindset I had when I was like 20 years old living down there, and honestly, it felt like way bigger back then. I mean, did that room seem like that to you? Like, did it seem bigger to you back then, Dane, or do it still seem small as hell? Because for some reason, when I was thinking about it years ago, I was thinking this room must be way bigger, but that shit literally, yeah, he said. Dude, a slave shack. That room is literally like a gopher hole, dude. Like it's like that's like where that room was big enough to like where fucking people you see on like America's Most Wanted and Unsolved Mysteries and shit. Like that's like the kind of shit they go in to get a room at, like down there in Statesboro. Like it's not for people that have like normal lives. But yeah, I just wanted to tell this story too, Alex. It was funny because when I got down there, like I said, I had no idea what I was really getting myself into, and I'm like, oh shit, this is about to be insane, man. And I'm like, I just signed a lease with these people, so I got to figure out how to get the hell out of this. So in the middle of the 10, it was in the like probably like 3 months into the lease, I was I had actually just got a new job. I mean, like I said, when the last time I was talking to you guys, yeah, that was when that Sapir thing went south. And I'm actually going to go more further detail into that because, like I said, I actually could be showing y'all the stuff I do on my current job right now, because I was going to do like a little live series with that. And I actually had put up some videos showing like what I had did on during that time when when I had started the job and everything. But I think one of the homeowners that owns one of the properties that I had went and did some work on actually saw it here on my page, so I had to take those videos down. That's why y'all don't really see them anymore. But them shits were getting like fucking thousands of views because it's like it's a real housing crisis out here. And apparently since the last time we really kind of were able to connect and talk and stuff like that, that's when this country was going to shit. And and I guess I wasn't the only one that was affected by it, because at the time, I had to move out of my apartment. Just kind of, giving a little personal detail about that. Like one day, because it was me and it was my friend India who stayed with me during that whole time. That was the female you probably heard in the background sometimes, Alex, with the baby. Well, she didn't have her son until like when we would get ready to get out of there. But yeah, one day, man, she had came and gave me a letter. And that shit had said that they were going to do a renovation program. And I was like, oh, shit. And they had told me at the end of 2021 that, what the hell? Hold on. Gave me a letter. And that shit had said that they were going to do a renovation program. And I was like, oh, shit. And they had told me at the end of 2021 that what the hell? No, you're warning Wells Fargo's credit score is ready. Who gives a damn? Yeah, but yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, like, yeah, and these spam numbers. But yeah, when I start talking about this now, these spam numbers call. But yeah, during this time, man, this was in August. This was actually the same month I was getting ready to work on the Crusaders review, because I was actually going to do that before I had moved. But man, she had came and showed me that damn letter they put on the door, and they said they were going to do the renovation program in my unit. And the year before, in 2021, they said shit, hold on. They said that they were going to do that, but the year before they told me that, but they didn't give me time really to like prepare for it. So I told them, well, y'all at least got to give me another lease and let me figure out what I'm gonna do. But this time around, they had just switched, and a new management team had came in that July, and man, shit, that was around the same time I told y'all they came with that, and they put that letter on my door. So we basically had got displaced out of the unit after I had been there, for 5 years. So I guess, during that whole time, during COVID 2020, 2021, 2022, I remember I saw it. It was a lot of people that weren't paying rent. And, and they just literally were staying there for free. And, shit, I remember, but once they had lifted that moratorium, that everybody was just getting their shit thrown out. And I just told myself, like, man, something tells me once they kind of start getting things back normal, they going to end up raising the rent up. And it's going to be a lot of people out here that's going to be homeless. Like, something had just told me that. And sure enough, man, they had put that letter on my door. They put it on my door, and they put it on my neighbor's door that lived next to me. And this lady was probably there longer than me. And she was so scared. That lady was just trying to figure out what she was going to do, where she was going to go. And then, luckily, like I said, by the grace of God, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do as far as going to Statesboro. But like I told you, bro, like I was looking at it from the perspective from 2011. So I was thinking, man, I need to just move down there. So that's when I left there and went and stayed with my mom, and then moved down there. I think that was last summer. But after like about a week of being there, like I said, I immediately went into the unit. Shit was way smaller than I imagined. Went into the kitchen, man. It was like way smaller. And then, like I said, I had to share this with a guy that barely could speak English. And then there was the guy from Chicago. He was even more thrown off by the situation. But nevertheless, I was like, I got to get the fuck out of this. So what I did, bro, I had ended up subleasing the unit to this white guy I found on Craigslist illegally, just so that I could get the hell up out of there. And shit, I had literally, bro, I remember the morning I had went down there and got my stuff. It was on November 1st. And I had came up with a lease between me and him, but this is really illegal because he didn't get approved by the management company. So they wouldn't allow him to really like take over my lease. But I said, no, I got to get the hell out of this because I'm not about to keep paying for this. And then, and this is a cesspool. Like, I'm like, I got to get the hell up out of this shit. So, man, I fucking drove a U-Haul from here up here in Atlanta all the way down there to Statesboro. I got up at like fucking 2:30 that morning. That shit was like when the only people that was up at that time I remember was me, crackheads, truckers, and prostitutes. Like, bro, nobody else was up at that time. And I had made it down there at like fucking 8 o'clock that morning. Got all my shit and got the hell out of there. I remember I got like $500 from that white boy, and I drove my ass right back up here to Atlanta. I had drove like 10 hours that day. I remember I was exhausted. I'm sitting here thinking, man, I done made a smooth getaway. I don't have nothing to worry about. I done got out of this situation. It's just going to be a lease between them. Me and him, and, they not going to know anything about it. It just so happened, though, that Monday they had an inspection. And they just so happened to go in there and notice that, hey, all my stuff was gone. And then all of a sudden they saw his stuff in there. And they just knew something wasn't right. So they changed the lock. They told him he had to leave. And I basically had to, find a way to wiggle my way out of that lease. And, I was that whole shit, bro. That shit was like literally like a fucking face hugger from Alien 3. like, launched and just latched itself onto your face, like, and latched itself on your bank account. And I was like, damn, like, this is a sticky situation, because I was down there paying for something basically that I wasn't using and I didn't want anymore, so I was just like, fuck, man. And but eventually, a couple of months later, they ended up finding somebody that was able to take that room, so I was able to get out of that. But yeah, that whole situation of trying to go down there and do that whole thing just didn't work out. And it was it's like, I guess, sometimes, like, what you imagine, and you think that you could do in your mind, it's not gonna go exactly as it's gonna go in reality. And you gotta just kind of play role with things. And then in this situation that I'm in right now, I got a friend that I've been knowing for a couple of years. She's been really cool with me for at least about 5 years. But she lived out here in this same duplex that we in now, with this older lady that used to be here. And I think that she just didn't really want to be out here like that, because her husband apparently died in this same room that I'm in. So, Alex, if you ever see any like spooky orbs, or you see me get possessed by something, I guess it's like the possession of her husband, said. So, it said apparently was a drug dealer. So, so I guess when I do my Scarface review, I could probably throw his spirit into the review, because it's more than likely going to be done in this room. But she knew him, and I mean, she knew the old lady, but she moved out of here, and I ended up finding the owner, and me and him came up with a lease agreement. So I was able to get this shit for basically the same amount of money that I was paying for the place that I had, the last place y'all saw me in Decatur. And it's nearly impossible to really find anything like that out here these days, especially, in this current market in any large city like Atlanta and places like that. So I got really lucky with this. And really, it just kind of, happened from my expertise. I mean, y'all saw I've been in property management, working in this industry for years and years. I've been showing y'all videos going back to 2020. Really, if you look at the cleaning business, yeah, I started showing those in 19, man. That's going on 7 years now. So, I ended up getting a job last year with these things called pad splits. Basically, these pad splits are like the same gopher hole reality that I was explaining in Statesboro, where like you have the quads and everybody had their own bathroom and their own room and stuff like that. But except with this, they literally are like gutting out people's houses in normal neighborhoods, and they converting out them motherfuckers into like individualized rooms that they renting out individually. I hope that I don't have nobody from my job in my chat. I mean, usually it's just us, but I don't know who could be listening to this, but I don't give a damn, because who the hell probably gonna want to look at Resident Evil 4? Especially the 05 version. Damn sure wouldn't be nobody from my job, but that's what they do. And they rent out the rooms individually to people. So I just do maintenance for them. I mean, and it's shit. You guys saw the stuff I did. I was doing Section 8 maintenance with the Jewish guy years ago when I was working with that company, Sapir. And I'll go into more detail with that Sapir thing. I kind of talked about it a little bit before, but I'm really probably soon going to create like a Patreon where I can kind of really show you how to make a business out of the cleaning stuff, and really any type of business, because that same method that I use with that and how I made a lot of money with that, it could be used with anybody really. Because I actually made, in the time that y'all saw me streaming, when was that from? My first stream was in May of 2021. If y'all can remember the first stream I did for the year, it was when I did the Special Forces stream. It was the Mortal Kombat Special Forces stream. From that stream all the way basically to the last stream I had did that July, which was that Road Rash stream. Dude, I had made $38,000 doing that shit. From that January all the way until that August, I had made $38,000 off that guy doing it. And like I said, he was pissed because he thought that he paid too much money. But I mean, like I said, the way that the economy was shifting and stuff, it's like I had to get what I had to get. But that's what led to where I am at now. But I had to go through a lot of shit. That cleaning business that I was describing that I had years ago, that shit is still going strong. I still got my cleaner by the grace of God. I'm still getting paid from that monthly by me not doing no work. So it's still, SNS universe is still moving. Even when I wasn't really showing myself on camera or going live or anything like that, it still was a lot of movement going on behind the scenes, a lot of sacrifices, and that's what allowed me to be in the position now to where we could go on and continue this train moving. On camera or going live or anything like that, it still was a lot of movement going on behind the scenes, a lot of sacrifices. That's what allowed me to be in the position now. Alex, the crazy thing about it, bro, I asked him, I said, why can't he just use my name? You know what I'm saying? That, then use my name, and then, I'm like, I already have my name in the lease. Why can't he just use my name and I co-sign for him? And they wouldn't allow me. They wouldn't allow me to do it for whatever reason. And it wasn't like the guy had anything bad on his credit. I think he had just owed another apartment complex like some little bit of money. But I had to go through hell with that shit. And it basically, the long story short, I just learned like renting in a little college town and stuff like that, when you're dealing with the universities like way of renting stuff, it's not the same as a traditional lease. Because a traditional lease, you could easily get out of that. Like right now, I could have somebody living here that the owner don't know about, and I could still make money off of it. And speaking of, that's why I was going to describe, my friend that's living with me now. But with her situation, like, me and her always been cool. I always helped her out with a lot of stuff, and she's been, pretty generous with me as well. We've had, little flings and shit like that, just like I had with India at the last spot. But with her now, she mainly is just, having to get herself right, and because she had got in a car accident like about a year and a half ago, and she was supposed to get a settlement for like 6 figures. Her settlement case was worth like 40 bands, but she ended up only getting like basically 7,000 out of it after all the expenses, and that was just enough, to really pay for us to help get it here and then help get her a vehicle. But it just made me think, like, damn, like, if she had gotten that $40,000, she would have at least, she was supposed to really get like 17. Dude, we were supposed to try to buy a duplex. Like, I was trying to like buy some shit cash. Like, I wasn't trying to really rent no more. Like, but that's still in the that's still in the making. Because I'm not gonna lie, out here in this part of Atlanta, it is possible. I mean, it's a whole lot cheaper than where I was at before. I was trying to like buy some shit cash. Like, I wasn't trying to really rent no more. Like, but it definitely wasn't my son. That was some other guy that she didn't they don't even get along with now, because crazy enough, she's living in a shelter now. I wish I had. I mean, the only person I ever had, I could have lived for like that for free and didn't have to pay no bills was my mom, and so shit. I tried to tell her this same shit that I'm telling y'all right now. I mean, at least she making her money on doing Bigo though, so it ain't like it's all fucked up for her. Yeah, yeah. At least she making her money on doing Bigo though, so it ain't like it's all fucked up for her. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, like it's been pretty rough. Like these last couple of years. I mean, I guess at least when I was streaming, I'm like, damn. At least I was able to show y'all the good times. So if I ever tell somebody about my days when I was making my little money with Superior, I mean, I was hardly even having to get off my ass to make that shit. And doing what I was doing, at least I got video proof to show that. But we about to go for some better days now, cause my next goal, really, man. I really like. That's what I was getting ready to say, man. I'm gonna do mostly my live streams. Doing what I was doing. At least I got video proof to show that. But we about to go for some better days. Yeah, like down here, I mean, it's really like in Atlanta, it's the housing, the housing thing is where it's a big issue. But outside of Atlanta, I mean, nobody really wants to live in these other parts of Georgia. So we actually do have like a lot of programs that do give good decent like housing, like with shelters, and some of them actually will give you vouchers, and it puts you in position. But it's just really slow here though. So it's not like maybe somewhere like if she were in like Ohio or some shit like that. Ohio probably will move much faster, but yeah, stuff. So Georgia shit is just real slow, probably like the rest of the South. It's just really slow here though. So it's not like oh, you got a cleaning job, really? Hell nah. Hey, I told you, man. I'm glad you listened, man. For real, bro. Oh man, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you listened. Oh, you got a cleaning job, really? Hell nah. Hey, I told you, man. I'm glad you listened, man. For real, bro. Oh man, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you listened. Yeah, cause the best thing to do, man, like just to get some money rolling in, like them commercial cleaning jobs, like dude, that shit saved my ass. Like that was why y'all was able to see all them reviews, and you know what I mean, all the shit that I did from back then. Like that was really because of that shit. Yeah, cause the best thing to do, man, like just to get some money. Really, dude, like I said, I wasn't even like when I was doing that shit. That it's like running an errand, really. Like what's today? Friday. Yeah, like I got another building that I do. This up there in this little town called Swanee. I mean, all I really do, I only go there one time a week. And it only probably take me like maybe 40 minutes to do. And she paid me $100 a week for doing that, And ain't nobody there bothering me. Sometimes the owners show up, sometimes he not there. It really don't be that much to do, You know what I'm saying? Like it's really easy, and like I said, it's guaranteed income. It don't take that much skill. It don't take that much labor, to do it. So hell yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. That's how much I was getting when I was the last time I was streaming. The job I had cleaning at the Apple store. I was cleaning at the Apple store down here at y'all know the famous mall, Lenox Mall. Like sometimes I had to go there, but I was at the other location at Perimeter Mall. Yeah, I only had to do that shit like 2 hours a day though. I can't work 8 hours a day. I did a lot of that shit in my early 20s and stuff like that. Now if I work 8 hours, I can't just be in one spot like that. I kind of gotta be a little bit more mobile. Like what I do now, it's kind of like where I'm all over town. I mean, I go to 3-4 different towns and do the work orders. I mean, y'all saw what I did years ago. It's pretty much the same thing, like just a different company. But really, my goal, man, was to come out here to this little town I'm at now. It's this shit really out here is kind of like a mix between where I lived at before, Statesboro, and then like the city of Atlanta. But really, my goal, man, was to come out here to this little town. Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's perfect. Yeah, whenever I did my cleaning jobs, man, most of that time I would be spending just coming up with ideas and stuff. Whenever I'll be at home, I will never forget. Like I told y'all before, when I was working on Death Trap Dungeon, that's when I was my car was messed up, and I remember I was going and walking to those banks because it only took me 2 hours to do it. It was the Chase Banks up the street from me, and I remember it only took me like an hour and a half to do each location, and that shit paid me at the time. It was $10 an hour, but that, like I said, that little money used to hold me real good. But during that time, I remember when I was working on Death Trap Dungeon, I remember I would just be coming up with ideas, and I remember I would be going up there cleaning and stuff, and then while I was cleaning, I just would just space out and come up with ideas, and run little skits in my head to myself and role play little moments and shit like that. It was perfect because nobody was around, that I had to work with it, with the team and shit like that. I could just kind of work by myself. So it was a perfect situation, man. And like I said, like that was a blessing to have because I literally had that job was literally right up the street from me. I mean, I literally could like walk up there. So I never had to even worry about like driving like that. So it was perfect. I had that shit for 3 years, basically until I had started my business. And then when I started my business, I got my own contract. And like I said, I'm at the point now where really, I mean, just kind of looking to see what I could acquire. Of course, like if something come through, but. I mean, I had so much shit I had to do, Alex. That's another thing I forgot to tell you about, man. That same year when I moved out of my spot, moved back to my mom's and shit, I also had another contract with that same Chase Bank, like how I was working with them as an employee. I had the contract with them directly. I hired this guy off of Craigslist, and he turned out to be kind of a slacker because he was on and off with like showing up and stuff. And then I really had lost that contract because of him. But what was crazy, man, it was one night we had went there, and this is, mind you, this is in a really, really, really bad part of town here in Atlanta and stuff, really like on the east side. And we were out there. It was like 2:00 in the morning. Like I said, this shit is right here on the main street, coming right off the expressway, and it's just all kind of shit you be seeing going on like over there. Like it's a hotel. It's just a really place you definitely don't want to be at 2:00 in the morning, let alone to be at a bank at that time of night. And man, I was out there one night, and this dude, I'm sitting here out there picking up trash, and me and my brother just so happened to be, with me. I'm trying to get. I didn't know that the lights were automatic inside there, so I had accidentally, left the lights on. I was getting ready to go back in there, try to turn the lights off and stuff. I'm over there about to go in, and this guy randomly pull up, getting ready to try to go in the ATM. I got the key in my hand trying to go in there. This dude, acting all weird and shit and fidgety and shit. He, I just remember him saying something like, "Man, if you try to go in behind me, I'm gonna shoot you." And I'm like, "Motherfucker, I work here. Like, what the fuck how the fuck you gonna shoot me? And I work here." And then he just was like, really, it's like I said, because of the part of town that it was, he had, some lady with him, and this dude probably was high, ain't no telling what, drunk, ain't no telling what, trying to impress some bitch that he had in the car he tricking off on. And it just was a really, really bad vibe with that contract. And that night, that's what I had experienced. But what was crazy is that my cleaner, the same guy I had hired, I had told him, I said, bro, like, when you go out there, you kind of want to do that, like, before it gets really, really dark, so you don't got to be encountering, people like that. Because, I mean, even though he knows the area and you from there and everything like that, but you still don't want to be just mixing and mingling out there like that. Alex, tell me why a couple of months later, after I had lost the contract, I get a call from this man. He told me, man, my brother had got killed at that same location, being out there at 2:00 that night, because he was saying somebody had tried to rob his brother, taking some money out the ATM machine. And as he drove off, I guess they shot and killed him, and then had took off with $70 at that same ATM, at that same bank that I was at. And it was crazy, man. And it was literally just so happened to be my cleaner's brother that did it, being out there the same night in the same time that me and my brother were out there. So it was just a really bad vibe, I remember, with that contract, and we ended up losing that shit. But that was like some unsolved mystery, spooky shit with that, man. And I remember that shit happened. That was in 2023. But yeah, man, like really, yeah, these last couple of years I've been working on like I said, trying to get ideas for little content I want to start putting on Patreon, because like I told you, with the cleaning business, I mean, especially since you're already in the field, I mean, hell, you might as well go on and have a business doing this. So like I said, really, man, I'm gonna eventually have all this stuff I can package on Patreon. I can show you exactly how to price out jobs, how to set it up to where you're not sitting around trying to go out and do all the marketing to go get the contracts. You could just work with another company that already does that, and they could get it for you. And even if they get a large percentage off of it, that's a way to get through the door. And just show you, how this works. Because I mean, again, like, it's to this day, man. I mean, even earlier this year, I was getting like $700 a month doing nothing from this business, but total I was making like $2,000 a month, gross wise, off the business itself. So it's done. It's done pretty well. I mean, I guess I got lucky to considering the timing I had got into this thing, but it really has done well, and I can honestly say that I recommend that to somebody that probably just got out of college, and you just need some money to kind of roll in right now, even while you're working on your own thing, and you don't really have to be tied down, and mentally and emotionally and physically to something that you don't really want to be boggled down to. I would suggest you could set up something like this, and like I said, you don't even got to be doing the cleaning. So this good to hear. Mentally and emotionally, physically, to something that you don't really want to be boggled down to. I would suggest, you could set up something like this. Oh yeah, being a teacher, I can only imagine how that is today. You got all these kids with all these, ADHD disorders and mental disorders and stuff, and then the system that you gotta do it in, it's not really like you really teaching like that. I mean, you really just abiding to what the you got all these what lobbyists and and boosters and people like that. You really just abiding to whatever they trying to set up in the curriculum. Yeah, like teaching I wouldn't dare want to do that, Alex. Like, I wouldn't just discourage you from it. Ain't nothing wrong with wanting to do it, but I guess I'm just saying that personally because my mom was a teacher. My mom taught in my mom taught in Fulton County Schools. She taught in DeKalb County. I mean, mainly in Fulton, but she taught in Atlanta public schools. She was a psychologist in DeKalb. Like, my mom was in the education system her whole career. So I could tell you all about that. That's why I was cheating on tests and doing all that stuff back then. I wasn't doing it just because I was dumb or didn't want to study. I did it because I'm trying to cheat the system. I'm realizing this whole thing ain't even about learning like that. I knew that even as a kid. I could tell you all about that. That's why I was cheating on tests and doing all that stuff back then. I wasn't doing it just because I was dumb or didn't want to study. I did it because. Oh yeah, I can only imagine. Yeah, those kids probably horrible. I knew that even as a kid. Was it like in a low income area, or was it like what kind of school was it? Oh yeah, I can only imagine. Yeah, those kids probably horrible. Was it like in a low income area, or was it like what kind of school was it? Damn, that sucks. Oh yeah, I already know, man. Yeah, that's how it is though. Like when you first come out of college, like you kind of gonna have those experiences with certain jobs and certain things you got to do that kind of I guess build up that resume and build up. It really what I learned from it is just you build yourself up to a point where you kind of see where your niche is, like where you fit in, like what exactly you want to do. Um, And like I said, you don't have to overwhelm yourself with that same rhetoric of like, yeah, I got to go through this traditional method and I have to have this certain career. Because I'm going to be honest, it's like I had told you years ago. I mean, as you see, you pretty much in the same gator pits that I'm in right now. Like, it's nothing out here. Like, it was like that in 2015 when I graduated. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 10 years ago. Yeah, and it wasn't nothing out there here then, and it ain't shit out here now. But at least back then, the fucking rent wasn't so high. So Times was good back then, man. When I graduated, I was, came up here fucking, older women and fucking investing on cameras and working on shit. I was having a good ass time when I graduated. Times was good back then, man. When I graduated, I was, came up here fucking, older women and fucking investing on cameras and working on shit. I think I'm about to go ahead and set it up. Nobody wants to pay nothing out here. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad now, bro. And believe it or not, I know up there in New York, it's the state minimum wage is higher, but down here they still paying $7.25 an hour. Jobs is still paying $10 an hour, $12 an hour on average. It's like they literally expect you to pay $1,700 a month in rent, and you're making like $15 an hour. Like it just don't. It don't make sense. And like I said, I already knew all this shit was coming during COVID. I was looking back at some of my streams. I was looking back on my stream when I did the road rash, and I remember I was talking about that, and I just like to look at that stream for some reason, because that was a month right before I had lost my job with Superior. So that was the last good month I had before everything went south. It's like I just went on like a big roller coaster ride between 2023 and now. And that month was the last month when things was somewhat decent, man. Since then, it's been a hell of an odyssey. I'll admit that. This shit been a hell of an odyssey. Yeah, I feel you, Alex. To be honest, as far as with me and that, I just feel like as far as that relationship thing right now, yeah, man, I just feel like I was telling you before, man, I need to get back in position where I'm not really out moving around like that, like I have to now. Like when I was doing the streams, like I said, throughout 2021, 2022, I was more stable. And like I said, I was goddamn kind of sitting in position and letting somebody else do the work and getting paid for that. Like it's like that shit is like a drug. Like, and it was bad for me because I had experienced that at an early age. Like a lot of people, they don't have that success, in their business until they get like in their 40s and stuff. I mean, I was already paying people, $1,000 a week and stuff when I was 29, so I kind of got that drug a little early. So it's like, I'm just trying to strive to get that back, and like you said, like relationships, like any of that shit right now, it don't matter. And like I said, I just want to be in that position again where I can sit at home, work on content, get monetize that content. At this point, I don't even care if YouTube decides to monetize me or not. Like, I don't give a damn about the 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subs. It's like, ain't no telling if I really got it, or if if that shit is if they manipulate the numbers. I don't know, and it ain't like the few little shekels they gonna pay is gonna make a difference. So I feel like I just need to take matters in my own hands and and figure out how I can make money off of this thing myself, and me being the direct producer to consumer at this point. Because like you said, man, I ain't worried about no relationship like that too much right now. I mean, I done had sex and I done did all that. I mean, I'm 34 years old, man. I just turned 34 last 2 weeks ago. Like, I don't feel and think the same way. I don't like the same things like that excited me when I was like 20 years old and 18 and 17 and shit like that. I didn't experience that shit so many times that it just don't excite me the same now. So I just care about, getting some money, as sick as it sounds, because I mean, we need the shit to survive. That's what I give a fuck about right now. So, and I want to make that shit by me not having to do no fucking work and me doing the creative shit, which is sitting here playing video games, making reviews, documentaries, and whatever else everybody wants. That's all that really matters right now, and everything else, man, is obsolete. Because it's obvious that now, you got to have something going on that you control. Because, like you said, the jobs don't want to pay nothing. And then, if you do get your money out of these jobs, you gotta steal from them. I mean, like I said, when I was working with the Jew, I made that 38 bands. I made that shit from January to fucking August. So if I had to work the whole rest of the year, I probably would have made close to six figures with that guy. But like I said, the reason I couldn't make it because that wasn't what they were trying to pay, and that's just what it is. Like these companies don't want to pay that. It ain't like they got the money. I don't know, but I don't know. We just in a fucked up time right now. This shit is kind of really resembling how shit was in Nazi Germany. You know what I mean? Like, the currency was, motherfuckers was walking down the street bathing with dollars, dollar bills because it wasn't worth nothing. I mean, literally wiping their ass with that shit and, using that shit as a pillow. Because that's pretty much what the money is now. So, I mean, the money ain't nothing but a digital number. So, this shit is just, it's a whole lot different than what I grew up with. That's for sure. Using that shit as a pillow. That's pretty much what the money is now. So, I mean, the money ain't nothing but a digital number. So, the only thing that's going to be different between the college years and then the years you have with women now is going to be that money shit, Alex. I'm telling you. These women, they expect you to be kind of, coming ready made. So in the college years, you could kind of use the education thing and, and being intellectual or, to be persuasive, and using all these certain personal characteristics and all that. But these same women that you graduated with, Alex, like some of these bars now, they probably with niggas that's making $100,000 and, saying some of these women probably don't have to work. You know what I'm saying? They live in, in some penthouse somewhere, driving, the latest Mercedes or something like that. They expecting you to come like that now because they figured that the since you went to college and got through all that, like it's just this like you went through some kind of like, I don't know, a cult program or something. Like you just supposed to be all of a sudden ready to just provide, like, and have everything already set up, and that ain't gonna be like that. So yeah, you gonna learn that, man. Your teenage years to your early 20s, it's about being swag and persuasive and cool and all that shit. But from about 25 to 30 and up, that shit gonna be about that goddamn money. Yeah, you gonna learn that, man. That's all this shit gonna be about. Cool and all that shit, but from about 25 to 30. Oh yeah, you definitely got to have better standards because the older you get, the less things you're gonna be willing to tolerate. So, that's what allows your standards to sort of upgrade. Based on the fact that what you're willing to tolerate. Like you don't want to see certain things that you dealt with in a bar when when you were younger. When you get older, like you expect the next girl to not like she got to come already together, but or not even like she got to have a better attitude than the next bar, but she just gotta be more listening and more understanding. And if she ain't like that, then you ain't got to deal with her. Yeah, the older you get, like it's easy to just curve a bitch. Then I ain't even gonna lie. It's easy. A better attitude than the next bar, but she just gotta be more. Like I said, I'm a crosswire type motherfucker. Like I'm bougie in all aspects. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the older you get, like it's easy to just curve a bitch. It's easy. Man. I'm a crosswire type. I'm bougie in all aspects. But let me take a piss real quick and then go ahead and get started on Resident Evil 4. I think this is the first time I've ever streamed a Resident Evil game. Definitely, I know it's the first time I've ever shown myself playing one. So we gonna see how we can get. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably one of my favorite games. But eventually, I'm gonna do the remake one. Just had to get with my boy Dane to get a better PC build and or PC establishment, and we'll have more firepower for that. But I was rusty as hell when I first started this. Like, I think literally, dude. Like, you know what's crazy, Alex? I think literally today, because today is Black Friday. 20 years ago today was the day I bought this same game. That's why I wanted to stream it today. I think me and my brother, we had saw the commercials. They were showing it all that year. They had just released it on that GameCube. I think that March of '05. And then we had finally had enough money. We scraped up. I don't know if it was money my dad had gave me or what, but I remember we had went and bought it at GameStop. And yeah, it was on Black Friday in 2005. It was on this same day 20 years ago. So pretty ironic that I'm streaming it today. But give me a second. But I remember we had went and and yeah, it was on Black Friday in 2005. It was on this same day 20 years ago. So pretty ironic that I'm streaming it today. But give me a second. Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine how it would be for like a broad, in her 20s now. Like, I mean, girls were weird when I was 20 some years old. Like now, yeah, I kind of feel bad for your generation, Alex, Gen Z. Yeah, y'all got it pretty bad. Shit, it's like you already starting out here. Shit, shitty society, no jobs. Like I said, no careers, no good women. Like I think the millennials, we may have had like the last generation of like a somewhat decent woman, but yeah, as far as y'all's generation, yeah, it's pretty bad. Yep, GameStop does hold a lot of memories. But that's probably the best memory I have from GameStop when we bought Resident Evil 2 and when we bought Resident Evil 4. That was the two memories I had.
Yep.
Every other memory I had from GameStop was pretty shitty because I went in there and I either had got to arguing with them because they were trying to lowball me on some shit I was trying to sell them, or they were charging me something that was too much money. Two memories I had. Every other memory I had from GameStop was pretty shitty because I went in there and I either had got to arguing with them because they were trying to lowball me on some shit I was trying to sell them, or they were charging me something that was too much money. One thing I'll advise to you as a younger man, don't ever date an older woman. You just only screw them. That's don't ever take an older woman serious like that. Oh yeah. One thing I'll advise to you as a younger man, don't ever date an older woman. You just only screw them. That's don't ever take an older woman serious like that. All right, let's see how this plays. All right, let's see how this plays. It should run fine. I mean, I don't think we gonna have too many problems. Uh, yeah. All right. All right. All right, about to get started now. So hopefully this won't lag too bad. Yeah, hopefully I won't be too rusty. Well, no, I shouldn't. I was playing this last night. I was kicking ass. Started now. This won't lag too bad. I still need to get a. I need to get one of those microphones that could clip on me. I actually got one. I don't know. I need to set that up on my phone computer. Cause I'm tired of holding this mic like this. You gotta be like right up on it to hear well. All right, here we go. See how it goes now. Oh damn! I saved it way back here. All right, there we go. Oh damn! I saved it way back here. Make some adjustments real quick. Some adjustments real quick. That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. Well, what's going on with your nephew? Oh damn. Well, how does she use him as a weapon? All right. Hopefully, I can be heard well now. I'm gonna have to probably speak a little loud. Turn the volume down. This TV is kind of loud. Oh yeah, this was all the way at 1 at 2, too low. I think we good right there. Let's see how we can do now. Now, let me pop this up on my phone so I can read the messages. All right, here we go. Pop this up on my phone so I can read the messages. How old is your nephew? He sound like he not even 10 years old. You know, I was never like that when I was a kid. That's crazy. Like asking folks for money. I was always that kid. Like I always had like money on me. I was always saving a whole bunch of money, whatever little money my dad gave me or somebody else. I always held on to that shit. It's 12. Oh yeah, that age I was hustling. I was washing cars, cutting hair, selling Kool-Aid as crack. Like man, I was doing whatever I could to make some money. It kind of sucks because it's like I mean, you're supposed to be a kid at that age, asking your parents or your uncles or relatives and stuff like that for money and resources. I mean, that should be normal. But when I was growing up, it was just, wasn't no money like that, to be asked for. So you just always knew you had to earn it. Dang. Oh, yeah. Yeah, when it was hard times with my mom, yeah, we'll be lucky to even ask for a ride somewhere. Yeah, I think that's what always made me so self sufficient. Just the mere fact that I saw I couldn't just ask people for stuff like that. So just always knew if it was something I wanted, I had to do what I had to do to get it. I don't know. I just always was like that. It's almost like a survival instinct, to be honest. But you definitely want to be self sufficient out here. You definitely don't want to let him think that he could just get stuff easily out here from people because that's a sick way of thinking. And it's all indoctrinated when when kids are young like that. Shit. Oh shit. That boy doing the Harlem Shake, ain't he? Alright, it's too many of you fuckers now. Damn. How the fuck does this man have so many of these accents? Like, where does he just like magically spawn these shits? Oh no, he definitely can't be lazy. That's for sure. That's definitely a generational gap, cause my mom beat the laziness out of us. But you can't do that no more. It was cool back in the 90s, I know that. That shit was normal to be in public and see a child get slapped upside the mouth. Oh shit. What made your mom think you could do hard labor? You know what's funny, Alice? I didn't think I could do hard labor. Shit. But I had to do it all my life. But even, to this day, I thought that I would have got tired of it by now. Especially the shit that I do now. I would have never thought I'd be doing this. Yeah, it's like I had told my mom one time. It's like, eventually you can't really fault your parents forever for everything, or your grandparents and stuff, because at some point, and the days seem like they be going by really, really fast. You gonna wake up and you gonna be in the same position where you gonna be looked at as you were looking at them. You gonna be looked at the same way by somebody else. So the way this time be going by, so that's why you just gotta just develop yourself out here really and keep up with the times. I would have never thought. I mean, even with this, I would have never thought that I'd be fucking saying that I'm playing Resident Evil 4 20 years later. You know how lame that shit sounds to me right now? That this game is 20. I remember literally, like I said, when me and my brother went to GameStop on this day 20 years ago, Black Friday, and bought that game. We went home that evening. I remember we had went through the village. Neither one of us could get past that shit. And we got to the Chainsaw Man, and I remember that's when I shut the game off because I had never seen no shit like that. That shit scared the hell out of me. That Chainsaw dude, I remember he terrified me on this game. Mr. El Salvador. Like, what the fuck? Where does this man get so many of these fucking things? This dude got more pickaxes than axe. Or what's the name of that store? Ace Hardware Store? Yeah, this does feel nostalgic, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, man. You gotta do that. Can't forget who you are and where you came from. Can't do that. Damn. That was a long way down. You said you've been into music lately? Really? Like making instrumentals? You just eat the fish raw? Like, damn. Yeah. Oh, remixing music? That's what's up. For a minute I was practicing like making scores and stuff. I haven't really like had time to do it as much recently. But it is fun to do it. It's like usually whenever I get on there and and start fucking with it, I usually make about a good four scores a day. It kind of be like little creepy sounds and stuff like that. Something I could use for because I still want to do that American Demonology series. I actually kind of got a little bit of that red tape. You said do vocals. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, with all the conventions and that kind of stuff. I mean, it's a good way to market. I just feel like from my experience, when I had tried to do the film festival thing, it's just a lot of politics. Sometimes you got to deal with that kind of stuff. So if it doesn't go through the way you would probably expect it to, that is one thing you have to be mindful of with that. When dealing with certain groups and all that stuff. Almost ran into that. Fuck. It's a great idea. Yeah. I'm surprised it's people even out this Black Friday as shitty as this economy is. It don't really seem like it's been that much hype about it this year. But yeah, I mean, that's not a bad idea, man. To be honest, once I could get more people in these streams, what I really want to start doing eventually is like running like little prizes and hosting like little games and stuff, and doing little giveaways and shit like that. Cause I still got all my merchandise. I still got shit thousands of dollars worth of merchandise of wristbands and bags, SNS bags, SNS stickers, wristbands, shirts, belts. I got all that stuff. Like I said, but I ain't even gonna sell it. I'm gonna just give it away. But like I said, you gotta join the streams in order to to get that chance at winning it. So join the streams and join the Patreon. Damn, that sucks. Damn, he took his own life. That's fucked up. Damn. Yeah, everybody out here going through it, man. In they different ways. Did he was he like on drugs or what? Damn it. I'm so rusty at this shit. There we go. I think that since y'all in the chat, I'm about to tell y'all one of the since you just mentioned that, I'm about to tell y'all one of the craziest yet funniest story yet kind of shocking that I think I've heard in a long time. Now, mind you, over here in this area that I'm at, like I said, it's kind of like a little bit of country out here too. So you got a lot of drug addicts and and people like that out here in this area as well. But it was this one girl that my friend knew, and a couple of months ago, I think my friend was in jail or no, she wasn't talking to the girl, but during that time, she had needed me to send her some money one time for her to get it, and I did that. But this same girl had finessed me and lied to me like twice to saying that my friend was trying to get in contact with me, and she was trying to get some money, but in reality, it was really her the girl Chrissy, and she was really like lying and saying that she was like my friend because she didn't have a phone at the time, and using that as a way to basically using that as a way to finesse me and get some little money. And I think she got maybe $80 out of me or so. But from what I heard, she was she was really bad on fentanyl and and not doing too good. I guess apparently from like the many people that she finessed and like conned and schemed and did this same thing to, throughout I guess Lithonia. But mind you, like I said, I've been hearing that it's also like a drought, in this area. So it's been a lot of fiends out there like itching to try to get drugs and stuff. But so that makes things I guess that made things a little bit more desperate. Man, this girl, I had heard that this same girl that had did that to me, ironically had y'all gonna laugh. But like last week, they said that this girl was in the car, I guess with another girl that kind of got the same issues, and they were like talking to this guy, I guess trying to set him up, to rob him. And then they said that the girl Chrissy snatched the chain off of the guy like it was a fucking 1980s villain fucking action movie or some shit. I'm like, I didn't even know motherfuckers still did that. But man, they said this girl Chrissy snatched this dude's chain, and as soon as she stepped out the car, she got hit by an old lady randomly at fucking like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock at night or some shit like that. And this girl right now is fighting for her life in like ICU. Like as soon as she stepped out the car, they said she immediately got hit. So she literally, yeah, I'm like, y'all know the term grandma got ran over by a reindeer. Like she literally got ran over by grandma on a reindeer. Like when she tried to snatch somebody's chain. I'm like, I just thought the irony of that was crazy, that you taking from all these innocent people just to try to get high. And then in the end, an innocent old lady who just minded her own business ended up running your ass flatlining you over to where now you fighting for your life. Like that's literally, bro, the craziest shit I've heard. Yes, dude. That girl literally, they said that girl literally tried to snatch that guy's chain off his neck. Like she was in a damn 1985 New York action movie or some shit. And then stepped out the car and got immediately hit by an old lady. I thought to myself, wow, dude, I'm like, irony, no, it's always served cold. Irony, no, it's served cold, baby. It's always like that though. Like people who do stupid shit to me, I just sort of just let them just go on and go their own way. Cause some shit I always hear always happens to them. I swear to God, it never fails, bro. That's what I thought about that dude Joe the other day, who had took that camera from the little story. I ain't no telling what happened to Buddy. I used to always think that. I wouldn't be surprised if he ain't even alive no more. That's why I be thinking like, damn, it probably is a spirit or something that look over me. Because I swear, most people that do stupid shit like that to me, they always get it in the end. Like they always gotta pay they gotta pay the bill basically. That's what I said. But you know what, Alex? It's so much shit that I heard that go on over there in that little area. Like, dude, I could literally make a documentary about that shit over there from the shit I've seen. I literally seen a tent city over there where it's nothing but fentanyl addicts and crackheads. It's shit over there. Fucking it's an older lady over there, man, and she literally, like I said, she literally is dying of cancer and she's homeless over there. And every time I see her, she, just be trying to get high. You know what I'm saying? But that tent city I had seen over there, like that might have been the worst one. I mean, it was all that trash and stuff I seen. Like, yeah, I'm gonna show y'all one day. I'm gonna show y'all all this stuff. Like, that's probably gonna blow my damn channel up. But yeah, I could remake that Scarface review literally. Yeah, somebody get the chain snatcher get ran over. Yeah, that's gonna be hilarious. Yeah, Leon does look like Bruce Willis in like 1986. Dude, I swear to God, they how when you first start this game and you go into the village, like that's how that shit feels like when you walk over there in that hotel. Like it's like literally that shit like feels literally like the village. All there's a bunch of zombies and shit over there. Yeah, that girl snatched that boy's snatched his chain off and got hit over by grandma on a reindeer. I'm like, wow, irony. No, it's a bitch. After that girl stole my money. Yeah, that village. I'm not gonna lie. This shit is annoying. I had died a few times before I streamed this. I didn't want to embarrass myself too bad. I had to practice a little bit. I think the last time I played this game before now, I really want to say was when I was in college. Like I really can't remember playing this since I graduated. Too slow. Yeah, you're a little too late, buddy. You used to scare me 20 years ago, but I done figured you out now. Yeah, it sure does, man. Where were you in Atlanta, Alex? Everything here is kind of overrated, to be honest. Fuck. Sonic convention. Oh, okay. You must have been somewhere downtown. Okay, I think the snake is in here. Oh, oh shit. Damn. I'll try to get all of them. Motherfucker. Alright, I'm trying to be conservative. Ah, this rifle sucks. The reload speed on this is ass. Ooh, perfect. Oh, I got a double. Huh? Wait a minute. Yeah, I was about to say, what the hell they talking about? Damn. Yeah, y'all probably were definitely somewhere downtown if it was if something was overpriced like that. Paying for a bunch of shit that ain't worth it. It's Atlanta. For some reason, Alex, I never trusted a broad that's into like going and screwing guys at a costume party and shit. I don't know why. Like you just never know, like the kind of shit that broad to be into. Like, I just never trusted a bitch that wild. Maybe for a night, but nothing more than that. Damn, hold on. If I can remember right, I think I'm not supposed to sell that. I'm supposed to like add other jewel pieces to it. Oh yeah. Good for a night, bad for a lifetime. That's my best description of a bride like that. Oh yeah, you don't want them to let you know, for them to think, for them to know that you just on their mind like that, or are they on your on your mind? What are you buying? Should I buy the TMP now, or should I wait? Yeah, too. You're gonna start to notice too, like it don't even be about how good she look and all that either. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, Alex. You about what, 23 now? By the time you get to be about 27, 28, how good she look and all that, I mean, that's gonna matter, but you really gonna really start to care more about what kind of woman she is. Like if she's somebody you can't really tolerate like that, I swear that shit ain't gonna really mean too much after a while about how good she look. These bars be hard to tolerate after a while. Trust me when I tell you, I know. I done lived with several different women in several different situations, so I know. Women are the most scatterbrained creatures out here, so gotta be used to that. Fuck. Oh, this is where I came in. Wait a minute. I dropped down here. It came down this way. Oh, okay. So this is how I came in. Alright, so I was going the right way. Most definitely. But only when she trying to get something out of you. Like, I don't think a woman just, or if you did something to piss her off, you know, other than that. I don't think too many women just try to sabotage you unless they got a reason. What the fuck? I don't know why, but that female zombie, she's the one that always scares me on this game. That's like the weirdest looking bitch ever. There we go. Dead. What was wrong with the desktop? Oh shit. No, 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 no! Damn! Oh damn! Did you have to replace it? I just saw a blue medallion somewhere. Fuck, man. No, I still remember that.
Leon, have you reached the church yet?
Yeah, sort of.
Leon, did I mention not to take the scenic route? At any rate, Ashley's probably inside that structure. Rescue her. Hurry!
Find it. It's Leon. The door's locked. I can't get in.
Did they teach you how to pick locks at the academy?
There's some sort of indentation, like something might fit inside.
Well, there's no use standing around. Leon, you have to find some way or something to get inside.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can only imagine a Lauren in this generation, like a Gen Z Lauren. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's pretty scary.
I can only imagine Lauren in this generation, like a Gen Z Lauren. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, definitely.
Fall over. Damn. Damn. God damn. Shit crazy as hell. I ain't want to have to do that. With a whale. What whale are you talking about? He got me thinking about one of the girls that Dan. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is he talking about the one of the girls Dan was with? Yep, Dan somehow survived and got married. I know. How long have I been doing? Shit. I think I'm about to pause it real quick because I need to get something to eat. I ain't ate all day. And then I'm about to save it and then jump back on in a minute. So I'll get back on. Maybe around like 8:40 or something like that. Give me a minute.